Today, I'd like to reminisce about an intriguing actress known to many as Jessica Alba. What's interesting about her is that almost everyone seems to have a favorable opinion of her. However, despite this, her film career never really took off as one might expect. Although she had numerous opportunities to climb higher in the industry, due to poor choices or just plain bad luck, Alba eventually found herself taking roles in straight-to-video movies and mediocre TV shows. But before we begin, make sure you have subscribed to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated with future content. And as usual, the longer you watch, the more interesting it becomes, because the most surprising things always show up at the end of the video. The actress began her career with minor roles in various TV shows. Alba made an appearance in the well-known TV series Beverly Hills 90210. She doesn't like to recall her time on this project. According to her, the one thing she distinctly remembers from the set was the unspoken rule not to make eye contact with the more talented actors and actresses. She was quickly warned that if she dared to look directly at any main cast member, she would immediately be sent out into the cold. Nervously, she managed to avoid looking at anyone directly. Thus, after one of the seasons, she gained some recognition, and by the late 90s, she began acting in theatrical films. However, these movies didn't do well, receiving poor reviews from audiences and critics alike, and they flopped at the box office. Everything changed in the early 2000s when, at 18, she signed on to James Cameron's TV series, Dark Angel. The first season of this show was wildly successful, and Jessica Alba quickly became the darling of nearly every American publication. They hailed her as the breakout star of the year and praised her incredible talent. The actress was showered with various awards, even receiving a nomination for a Golden Globe. However, the second season of the show didn't fare as well. Its ratings dropped almost fourfold compared to the first season. Many blame the September 11, 2001 attacks and a change in the show's time slot, which resulted in losing a significant portion of its teen audience. As a result, after the second season, Dark Angel was canceled, and Jessica set her sights on the big screen. Her first role after Dark Angel was in the romantic drama The Sleeping Dictionary. This $12 million movie had a limited release and didn't particularly stand out. Although audiences seemed to like the film, Jessica Alba herself isn't a fan of The Sleeping Dictionary, deeming it a mediocre movie. Furthermore, she believes that the weakest part of the movie is her own performance, with what she considers lackluster acting. Her next project was the musical drama Honey. Initially, the rising pop star Aaliyah was slated for the lead role, but tragically, a few months before filming began, she died in a plane crash in the Bahamas. The crash was attributed to the plane being overloaded with equipment used for a music video shoot. Production on Honey was delayed for nearly half a year, and later Jessica Alba was cast in the lead role. The film performed decently in theaters, and after its video release became a significant hit, eventually leading to a series of sequels on the small screen. In 2003, the actress tried to land roles in two major blockbusters, but both attempts were unsuccessful. The creators of Daredevil turned Alba down due to her being too young for Pirates of the Caribbean. She was rejected because of her Mexican heritage. In today's more enlightened times, such a reason for rejection could have had serious repercussions for the filmmakers. Alba was very keen on being part of a major blockbuster, and in 2004 she got her chance when she was cast in Fantastic Four. If the project had achieved a level of success similar to the X-Men film series, which was also produced by Fox, perhaps Alba's career would have taken a different trajectory. However, Fantastic Four did not enjoy such success. While audiences didn't outright hate the film, critics were less forgiving. Jessica Alba bore the brunt of their criticism. For her role in Fantastic Four, she received her first nomination for the Golden Raspberry Award, an honor given for the worst in film. 2005 was the most commercially successful year for the actress. Both Fantastic Four and Sin City performed well at the box office. The only film that year that didn't fare as well was Into the Blue, in which Alba starred alongside Paul Walker. Into the Blue is another movie that Jessica Alba doesn't look back on fondly. The original script underwent significant changes during filming. Alba's character suffered the most from these revisions. According to the actress, when she signed on to the film, her character was entirely different. But as a result of these rewrites, her role was essentially reduced to mere eye candy. It's hard to say what her character was originally like before it was watered down. but her role in the movie didn't seem to differ much from the roles of other actors. Of course, this excludes the scenes where she was predominantly featured in bikinis, which she wore for a significant portion of the movie. There's a humorous anecdote related to Alba's bikinis. They revealed so much of the actress that the American Rating Commission threatened to give the film an adult rating. In response, the studio cut some of the bikini scenes. And in the movie trailers shown in American theaters, they digitally edited Alba's bikini. All this was done to ensure one segment of the audience kept its composure, while ensuring another segment wasn't inadvertently offended. With a budget of $50 million, Into the Blue only grossed $44 million worldwide. Professional critics strongly disliked the film, and traditionally, Alba bore the brunt of their criticism. Jessica Alba was rescued from the critics by her third film in 2005, Sin City. This film received rave reviews from both critics and audiences alike. For her role in it, Alba earned an MTV Movie Award. The only setback for Sin City was its modest box office performance and somewhat mediocre earnings in the US. Due to this, a sequel was awaited for almost a decade. However, the follow-up movie was essentially a flop. In the US, it made only $13 million on a budget of $65 million. Although 2005 proved to be a relatively successful year for Alba, her subsequent career faced numerous challenges. Critics seem to have marked her, and each of her following films received overwhelmingly negative reviews. It can't be said that Alba did much to rectify this at times. It seemed like she was purposely picking projects that critics could easily pan. One such potential project was the notorious film Blood Rain by Uwe Boll. Negotiations were held with the actress, and she wasn't against starring in the film. However, she was deterred by the inclusion of nudity, something Alba has consistently declined. Even in Sin City, they had to modify a few scenes because of this stipulation. But all in all, Alba's career could have tanked in 2005, but her unwillingness to appear nude on screen saved her. In 2007, the actress starred in Good Luck, Chuck. Originally, the lead role was intended for Jennifer Love Hewitt, but due to repeated delays in the filming schedule, Hewitt had a scheduling conflict. This led to her being replaced by Jessica Alba. It's debatable who was the real winner here. While the film's box office earnings weren't a complete disaster, both critics and audiences gave it poor reviews. The audience response was merely bad, but critics utterly slammed it. On average, the film garnered about 3 out of 10 points from them. Jessica Alba then experienced a modest box office success with the movie Awake, in which she starred alongside another actor often critiqued by American critics, Hayden Christensen. One could argue that the film was doomed in the eyes of critics from its inception, but the audience didn't react as negatively. Produced on a budget of $8 million, Awake grossed $32 million. Both Alba and Christensen were nominated for Razzie Awards, or the Golden Raspberry, for their performances. While Christensen received a single nomination, Alba was recognized twice. Recognizing the disfavor she held with American critics, Alba tried to win them over. She took on roles in movies like Meet Bill and The Ten Commandments, hoping they'd be well received. But it seemed to backfire, as these movies faced even harsher criticism. Since these movies weren't designed for wide releases, their failure further impacted Alba's career. During this period, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer was released. Given its box office performance, the studio decided against continuing with this universe and announced plans for a reboot, leaving Alba without a significant franchise to fall back on. However, 2008 seemed to be the culmination of Alba's attempts to reach new heights in her acting career. While a minor horror film, The Eye, did relatively well at the box office, it earned her another Razzie nomination. Shortly after, she starred in Mike Myers' comedy, The Love Guru. The film was a major flop, dealing a serious blow to both Myers and Alba's careers. Somehow, co-star Justin Timberlake came out unscathed with The Love Guru, having little to no negative impact on his career. This time, the audience was in agreement with critics, assigning the film a dismal rating of around 3 out of 10. After taking a 2-year hiatus, the actress made a comeback with 4 movies in 2010, playing supporting roles in 3 of them. While films like Machete, Valentine's Day, and Little Fockers didn't flop, Alba received no accolades. On the contrary, these films were heavily criticized, and for Little Fockers, Alba finally received a Razzie Award for Worst Supporting Actress. Since 2011, the actress started appearing in films less frequently, usually in movies that barely made it to theaters. If they did, like Spy Kids 4, they were mostly noted for their abysmal ratings from viewers and critics. One of her notable works in the past 5 years has been Mechanic 2, which was successful in Chinese theaters. However, even if Alba's film career didn't pan out, in other areas of her life, she's doing more than just fine. When her film career took a downturn, she ventured into business. In 2011, Alba invested in a small company called The Honest Company. By 2015, the value of this company rose from a few $1 million in 2011 to $1 billion. According to American publications, Alba owns around 20% of the company's shares. So now she doesn't really need a film job and, by her own admission, acts more for pleasure. It's not entirely clear why she would find pleasure in acting in a series like LA's Finest, but perhaps the actress knows best. Maybe the shooting was close to her home, she worked on the project with good friends, or she simply wanted to earn some extra cash for sneakers. In any case, the series was canceled due to low ratings. The most recent full-length film she's worked on is Martin Owen's Killers Anonymous, where she co-starred with Gary Oldman. The movie also tanked, and critics panned it, and at that time, the actress wasn't even 40 years old yet. What are your thoughts on the challenges faced in Jessica Alba's career? Let us know in the comments below. At this point, we get to the end of our video. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to give this video a big thumbs up. This will only take a split second, but surely pump the YouTube algorithm to bring our videos to the top. See you in our next video!